What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at Scion.com.
It's been 4 months since the trial of Matteo Sardoma, Rudy Sablan, and Maria Cristina Edrosa began. Sardoma is accused of leading a vast drug empire and was labeled the drug kingpin of dope on Guam. Sablan was his alleged enforcer and right-hand man, and Edrosa, Sardoma's girlfriend, is accused of being a part of this drug trade. All three are facing numerous drug trafficking and firearms charges. They were initially indicted along with 7 other defendants, but the 7 took plea deals and testified against the 3 during the months-long trial. The 7 are Christopher Mesa, Walter Duenas, Sylvia Mashburn Duenas, Eduardo Lake, Anthony Arrow Villanueva, Joseph Caballero, and Elizabeth Uggan. Present in court today were several seized firearms, drug paraphernalia, and even a Ziploc bag with a pound of meth that had a purity level of 99.8%. Assistant U.S. Attorney Steve Leon Guerrero began his closing arguments and re-examined witness testimony of both those who made plea deals and others who testified to receiving cash from Sardoma or Edrosa for firearms, business class trips, lease payments, and house renovations. Leon Guerrero said he expected that defense attorneys will argue that the testimony was inconsistent and will then use their criminal backgrounds to question their credibilities. But he notes that most of their testimony confirmed that there was a conspiracy to distribute crystal meth or ice, and that they saw the cash, the guns, and even witnessed a beating of a contractor. In one instance, Leon Guerrero says Caballero, a defendant, testified that Sardoma hid rolls of cash inside an empty car battery. Who would make that up unless he actually saw it, said Leon Guerrero. He also reminded jurors that 2 separate witnesses described how Sardoma produced his meth that was smuggled in through snow globes. Both witnesses, Leon Guerrero points out, gave similar details. Sardoma poured the liquid into a Pyrex bowl, cooked it for 3 to 4 hours, and then boiled it down to about 4 ounces. Standing alone, their testimony is powerful, but as a whole, their testimony is devastating. This case is about power, greed, and violence. That is what led to the rise and fall of a drug kingpin. Leon Guerrero put together a chart that detailed some of the known cash dealings between February 2010 to December 2011, worth over $200,000, all from a man who claimed to make less than $16,000 a year in customs forms. He also played a jailhouse recording of a phone conversation between Edrosa and Sardoma. In that phone call, Edrosa was heard saying, quote, "You should have finished the job," and "There's a problem of me passing it to you." Then Sardoma responding, "The gun is not illegal." That job Edrosa was referring to, Leon Guerrero says, was the beating of contractor Crescencio Gunda. Gunda was bound and gagged and beaten when prosecutors say Sardoma thought Gunda had stolen meth from him. The gun that was not illegal, he adds, was a firearm Edrosa allegedly purchased for Sardoma because she had a clean record while he did not. The most compelling piece of evidence came from Edrosa's own mouth, says Leon Guerrero. Then it came time for the defense to present closing arguments. Sablan's attorney, Louis Yanza, argued that the testimony was filled with lies and was consistently inconsistent. None of them took a polygraph test, and the only reason they agreed to testify against the 3 was because they wanted a get-out-of-jail card, he says. If Sablan was a part of this drug empire, he surely didn't look the part, says Yanza. Sablan lived in a wooden tin shack home and worked as a plumber and was a mere drug user, not a dealer.